Hey up, me ducks. How are we all today? It's good to see so many people here in the chat, both in Facebook and YouTube. We've got 42 in YouTube already and 56 in, 56. So that makes what? 12? Forgot the first number that I said. Seriously, you guys, just 2 minutes before going live, I was in complete blind panic, of which I'll explain in a little while. But let's do before too many people come in. Let's not too many people, but to keep on top of being able to, get on top of saying all the names before it becomes unmanageable, I should say. So first one in. Wow, nearly an hour ago was our Tammy Pie. Nice to see you, Tammy Pie. And then we have Martin. Hi, Martin. And Caroline. David. One of your first lives again. I think the last one was Quarantstream 84. Wow, that was a while ago, Martin. Good to see you. And our Roman, Tanji. How are you doing? And then we have Elizabeth, Kimberly, Spirit Healing, Malamia, Patrice. Hi, Patrice. Sandra, Joanne, let's see, it's everybody having a chat. Jill is here. Hi, Jilly, you made it then. That's good. Jilly didn't know she was going to be able to make it on time, but she's here. We have Richard. Hello, Richard. Good to see you. And Laurie. Jackie's here. Hi, Jackie. And we have Metaphysic Mike. Good to see you. We have Roz as well. Hi, Roz. And Neem. Hello, Neem. Aspasia Rising. Hello. Who else do we have? Orsi. Hello, Orsi. Good to see you again. Jeff. How are you doing? And Rob. Here's our Rob. And Nancy. Gerald. Hi, Gerald. Naomi. Good to see you. Lisa. Cards of Light. Hello, Cards of Light. I love that you've got the 10 of Cups as your little icon. Deanne. Hello, Deanne. Kim. Kelly Bear. Hello, Kelly. How are you doing, dog, this weekend? We've got Zane. Hi, Zane. MA. And Watching While I Sew. Yeah, you're a busy person. Modesty. And Crystal. Forever Whereafter. Wow, so many people to catch up with. Claire, hello, Claire. And Chris, how are you, Chris? Tamaya Spirit, good to see you. Misty, the Crooks Nook, Celia, Vintage Moon, Brittany, Selkie, hello, Selkie. Wisteria, Book White, Tycon, Debbie, hello. I've not seen you in a long time. I hope you're doing okay. Debbie, as in Stormy Night, Debbie. And then we've got Joe. I think, have I caught up now? Silky's room, just seeing you. I'm all right, says Kelly. Mahoret. And Brenda. Nearly at the end. And Marsha. Oh, and Marina just popped in. So it's good to see everybody. So yeah, 2 minutes before going live, I sat here and I was watching everybody chat, and then I looked, I've got to do it the opposite way, haven't I? I'll just do it that way, because then I know I looked in this corner and it was very dark. And I thought, I've not lit my candles or my incense. So I got my incense out the drawer, put it here. So I thought, got my candles, lit the candles. I thought, oh my goddess is looking really dim. It was only, I don't know, maybe a month ago I changed the batteries, because I won't put a flame inside her because I've heard reports of them burning. So I bought an electric kind of cluster of lights that light up on the inside. So I thought, I'll go and change the batteries. I'm thinking, right, I've got 2 minutes. I'm changing the batteries, which was a fiddly process in of itself. And then I went to light the incense, and I looked where I thought I'd put the box. Could I find the incense? Couldn't find the incense anywhere. And I'm like, I've got to have the incense. I need my incense. So by this time, it's like 1 minute remaining. And I'm like, oh, where's the incense? Finally found the incense. Sat down. And then, as I sat here and I looked at back into that corner, the round, I don't know if you can see it, but the round disc here is a green man. And as I was fidgeting around changing the batteries, it had rolled off and was wedged down the side here. And it was like, you need to go live. So 2 minutes, I was sitting here, everything's nice and gentle and relaxed. And then the last 2 minutes, everything that could, well, I mean, they're not major things really, are they? But it caught me off guard. Glad it didn't break. Yeah, it's wood. It's carved. A friend carved it for my 50th birthday last year. So that's it's a special little corner, that one. Got some lovely little things on it. Oh, where's RL? Hi, Sandra, Kelly, Bookwright, Malama. She's saying hello to everybody. Good to see you. How are you doing? So has everybody got a cuppa? I've just got coffee today. Nice cup of coffee. What's everybody else having? You cannot be 50. It is true. It is true. I am. I was 50 last year. Domino effect. No. I mean, nothing major, but isn't it funny? You just sit there and you think, oh, I'm all ready to go. And then I've got 2 minutes. Adjust myself, make sure I'm sitting comfortably. Is the mic in place? Yeah. And then I look up and that whole corner's dark. I'm like, quick, batteries, candles, incense. You think you're prepared. H2O for Wisteria. Coffee Connor blend, says Jilly. Coffee Connor, or is it Coffee Kona? Pepsi Lime, as always, says Orsi. I've never tried the lime version of it. My favourite is Pepsi Max Cherry. I love that. In fact, I've got a bottle unopened in the fridge. Cup of Earl Grey. Coffees with Baileys. Wow, that's decadent, Malamia. Boca Java Banana. Hold on a minute. I've got to get my tongue around this. Boca Java Bananas Foster Coffee. Wow. Try saying that 3 times drunk. It does sound delicious, Jen. Hi, Jen, by the way. I don't remember saying hello to you in the list, but sorry if I missed you. So, well, let me tell you my little story. Now, I do need to preface this. I don't want people to get concerned. I'm not converting to Christianity or anything, but I've had a really spooky kind of it's a sign. No, and I'm not taking the mickey, because I've been a Christian in the past and I'm not going to knock anybody's beliefs. But yesterday I was at work and we have a volunteer who comes in 1 day a week, and was talking about how they went to the Catholic cathedral to light a candle for somebody. And I said, oh, is it open, of it being COVID and restrictions and everything? And he was like, yeah. So this cathedral is literally at the bottom of the road where I work. So we're in the shadow of the cathedral. I've lived in Nottingham all of my life. You know, I've lived in the city centre for 15 years, but I've always, apart from the odd few months where I was in the States, or, you know, I was in Sheffield once when I was a student, I was born in Nottinghamshire and I've lived here more or less all of my life. And I've never ever been to the cathedral. It's a Catholic cathedral. And so yesterday lunchtime, I was going down to the little delicatessen, which is, again, bottom of the road, delicatessen, cathedral. And I walked past the cathedral and I saw that the doors was open. I thought, I'm going to go in and just, you know, I'll light a candle. I don't, you know, I won't say what I lit a candle for. And I went in, and of course, there's somebody cleaning the door handle. As soon as you walk in, she was doing this, and you have to make sure you got a mask on and everything. And then you have to sign in and just name a number. I think I put something like Tom Jerry. And then you just go and take a seat, but they give you a little card with a cross on it, not a cross, an X cross, so that when you get up and leave, you place that where you've sat, and then they know where to clean, which I think is a really good idea. But this cathedral was beautiful, and I can't believe I've never been in it. You know, I can see it from my window, even from this position, I can see it, you know, and I've never been in it. But it was, and the thing I love about cathedrals more than churches is just the majesty of them, and how everybody whispers in them, and you can hear like a very faint hum of people doing Hail Mary and things like that. And so I lit a candle and I just sat for about 10 minutes. And as I went to leave, the guy who had given me the ticket, the laminated card with a cross on it, said something along the lines of, have you found a relationship with Jesus? Words to that effect. And I was like, oh. And I said to him, I said, I'm not of this faith or a follower. I said, but I just wanted to come in and spend some time. And he said, you might not be, but you soon will be. So I left. Just as I was going to get ready to go live, I heard the door about probably about 1:30. We get post late at the weekend. And I thought, oh, that just sounds like a letter. If it had been a heavy thud, you wouldn't have seen me get off that sofa quick enough and hot-foot it to the door, because I know that would be a package. But it was a very light sort of, so I knew it was a letter or something. So just before going live and my mad scarp around, I got a letter, handwritten as well. Handwritten. I'll show you that bit. You can see it's handwritten. Bearing in mind, I gave a fake name. They didn't ask for my address, so it's pure coincidence. But in this letter, and I've never had a letter before, it says, hello. No name, so it's just a general kind of thing. I hope you and your loved ones are keeping well. Well, yes, we are, thank you. I am writing to invite you to a special event taking place on Zoom on the 27th of March. That's today, at 7 p.m. So I'm going to have to hurry up, guys. I can't hang around. We have a beautiful hope for the future because Jesus came to the earth to give his life for all mankind. On the night before he died, he told his followers to keep doing this in remembrance of me, Luke 22:19. And every year, millions of people do just that. What? I've read it like 4 times. I'm like, well, what are millions of people? On the night before he died, Jesus told his followers, keep doing this in remembrance of me. What? Is he talking about having the Last Supper, or I just kind of wish they'd give us a little bit of context there. So anyway, if you'd like to join us, please email me for a Zoom link. I don't even know who they are, what denomination they are, or anything. At the top, it says you are welcome to attend virtually. A commemoration of the death of Jesus to remember what he did, giving his life for us. Scan this barcode to watch a brief video called Why Did Jesus Die? And it just says, kind regards, Wes. Well, thank you, Wes. But isn't it weird that I went into a cathedral yesterday and that man said, well, you might not yet, but you soon will be. And then this letter plops through the door. JWs are doing this, Simon. I had a handwritten letter from them. Oh, well, it doesn't say Watchtower or jw.org or anything. I've just got to email Wes. If I email Wes, he's going to send me a link and I can go on Zoom. And in the meantime, I can watch a video. Why did Jesus die? Well, is that Jesus giving you a thumbs up? No way. Well, I mean, oh, Kelly says, I received a handwritten one too. Did yours have the hilarious cherry white Jesus on it? This cherry white Jesus. Oh, that cherry white Jesus. Last Supper. That's what I wondered, Nancy. I wondered if it was the Last Supper they were getting at. It is Easter. Yeah. It's Good Friday next Friday. But they're doing something tonight. But, yeah. Big up Wes. Good old Wes. I'm half tempted to email Wes and just say, thank you for your kind letter and your invitation to join Zoom. But unfortunately, I'm sure there's somebody going live at 7 o'clock tonight. Yeah, I won't be able to make it because I'll be on TarotTube and see if I get a response back. White with a modern haircut, exactly. Oh my God, mine had the exact same pic and I'm in Canada. It's a worldwide conspiracy. So are they Jehovah's Witnesses? I mean, I know it's not Mormon because I would know a Mormon flyer anywhere and they'd have LDS or Latter-day Saints plastered all over it. So I know it's not Mormon, but usually JWs have something like Watchtower or something, Kingdom Hall type thing. He looks like he's from the Bee Gees. If you don't, I will. Would you like me to give you Wes's email, Al? A blonde and white Jesus. I know. My parents have got, it's a very famous picture. In fact, I would guess if you was to Google, in fact, let's have a look and turn chat off for a second. If you probably Google Mormon Jesus, it is their most famous picture. And they never tell you this because you're supposed to kind of realize it over time, but there's two markings on your cheek and one has a love heart, which shows that, you know, he loved us all. And the other one is the, what do they call it when he's, not the crucifixion, but the image of him hanging on the cross. It's got a word, hasn't it? Other than crucifixion. I almost had it then. Anyway, let me show you the picture because it's very famous. But my parents have got it hanging in their front room, and my mum had she still has had a friend that she went to school with. All through her life, they've been friends, and they pop in probably about once or twice a year to each other's homes. And when it first went up, she thought it was a rock star. Let me see. I'll put Mormon Jesus picture. It's gonna come up. Yes, here it is straight away. So that is the famous Mormon Jesus. But again, look, white skin, blondie, kind of strawberry blonde hair. And then, I don't know if I can zoom in. You probably won't be able to see it, but on that cheek is the love heart, and on this cheek is where is on the cross. And when light catches it sometimes, it's yeah. And somebody took one and put like what he would look like today if he was, you know, to be back on the earth. No, he wouldn't. Oh dear. Anyway, let's put the chat back on. Let's get back to where we were. I've lost you guys. Okay, I'm back. Hot Jesus. And you can go, if you know any Mormons and you go into their home, that's probably the picture they're going to have on the wall. My parents is really faded now because it's been hanging on the wall for that many years with sun shining on it. It's virtually blue and white. That's Charlton Heston. Oh my God, late to the party. Yes, without you, I'm nothing, because no progressive Christianity is rooted in and continues to perpetuate white supremacy. I'm right. And for those of you who's followed my channel for a while, you'll have seen last year I had Heidi from Heidi Did What and Will from Atypical Tarot join me because we're all ex-Mormon. And, you know, Will, being a person of colour, talked about his experiences of the church, and it was it's kind of like a buried truth that they don't deny, but they don't like to talk about it. But it wasn't until 1978 that they would even allow people of color, or men of color, because women can't have the priesthood in the Mormon church. But it wasn't until 1978 that they would allow men of color to hold the priesthood, because they still saw, you know, that as a sin, because in the Bible, Cain killed Abel, and as a punishment, his skin was turned black. It's horrific when you, and horrific that, you know, I spent years kind of believing all that stuff. Not that that meant I had a problem with people of color. I didn't. I never have. But I still believed in texts that are supposed to have been, you know, 7,000 years ago, and this happened because Adam and Eve were only 7,000 years ago, you know. But yeah, and that sort of thing is still biled out from leaders in certain religions. Just had Personal Jesus in my head. Oh, such a good tune. Televangelist. The original Jesus was like the olive-skinned, Mediterranean, dark-haired person. Of course, you know, just think about his birthplace. I really enjoyed that chat with Will last year. Please invite him back. I think Will is going to be joining us for Tarathon this year as well. So he couldn't do it last year, but I asked him again this year, and he's coming on. Simon, would you never dare say anything bad about the Muslim faith? So why is it okay to slam Christianity? I'm not slamming Christianity. If I'd been raised a Muslim and I'd had personal experiences of being a Muslim and exiting the Muslim faith, then I would openly share my experiences. So the answer is no, because I don't have that right to do it, because I've not been affected by the Islam faith. I've never been a Muslim. So, but I feel I can talk about my experiences of Christianity, having come from that background, that faith, and members of my family still being in that faith. Without you, I'm nothing. How is Simon slamming Christianity? Well, I guess that there are people who are of that faith who when they hear it being discussed or talked about, are going to be protective of it. And I guess I would have been at one point in my life. But, you know, that person may see it as slamming. Other people would see it as, you know, perhaps just discussing the topic. And if you think slamming is us kind of criticizing the fact that Christ is being portrayed as white-skinned and blonde-haired, and I'm happy to be referred to as slamming, because it's not correct at the end of the day. Yes, Jehovah's Witness having an event this evening on Zoom to mark the Lord's meal, Jesus' death worldwide. So could explain the letter. This is Ness Lloyd, by the way. Got brave and using my real name. Right, well, hi Ness. So that's what it will be then, because it is this evening and it's on Zoom. But it's interesting that they're not putting themselves down on paper as being Jehovah's Witnesses. I wonder if they think that would, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you might get lots of people joining Zoom, but you kind of want to know what you're joining. So anyway, that's that. So that was my experience in the last 24 hours. Channelversary. So it says JW on my one. Was yours a handwritten one though, Kelly? Did you say you got a handwritten one? Sandra said, probably hoping people will be curious. Yeah, but you still, you know, if you get a party invite or an invite to some sort of function, you kind of want to know what you're going to, don't you? Happy Channelversary. Yeah, so 4 years ago, 2 days ago, was my 25th, basically, was the day that I started my channel. So I'm 4 years of age. And I just wanted to kind of mark that in some way. So obviously I'm going to be doing a giveaway. It is tradition that I do. Yes, but the printed bit at the bottom of the flyer. I'll have a look. I'll put it back in the envelope now. Yeah, so I often, whenever, you know, there's a big occasion, like a landmark number or a birthday or something, I like to do a bit of a giveaway just to say thank you to everybody who's kind of stuck by and chatted along and been part of this journey that I've been on. And everybody knows how much I love the RWS. So my giveaway is the 1909 RWS. So this is scans of the original 1909 tarot. It isn't a tin. I've got my own version of this, which I had a tin printed. You can get these images for the tins in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. All the tins that you'll see kind of behind me, we've got the images in there. But this, it's a really nice version. It is the Roses and Lilies backs. Cardstock isn't the greatest, comparing it with something like the 1910, the Pame, but it's great. There's no copyright. Obviously, it's got Pixies font. It has got that kind of antique-y feel. And this is the deck that they based the Centennial on, because that was, you know, the 100-year, obviously Centennial, 100-year anniversary. So it does have that kind of mottled effect and things. So I really like this. So if you want to be in a chance of winning the 1909, it's open to anybody, anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter what country you're in. I just want you to leave a comment, not in the comments now, just so you're aware, but in the comments when the video goes up. People can leave comments on videos. One of two things, because it's a 4-year Channelversary, what you've enjoyed. Is there a particular moment over the last 4 years that you've particularly enjoyed, whether that's a place that I visited, whether it was a particular segment on Tarathon, whether it was the Quarren streams, whatever it was that you particularly enjoyed, just put why you particularly like that, or what you'd like to see more of, because obviously I'm thinking it's a Channelversary, 4 years, where does it go from here? So either something that you've enjoyed in the last 4 years or something you'd like to see more of. Okay. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Jackie's put a link into the Facebook group. We've had to decline quite a few people recently as well. So if you are watching this and you've requested to join the Hermit's Cave Facebook group, please, I know we keep saying it, but do answer the questions, because if you don't answer the questions, we can't let you in, because we need to make sure that we're protecting everybody in there. And we've had some spammers filtering through recently that we've had to remove. And I don't want, and I'm sure the other 3,000 people in the Hermit's Cave don't want that group full of spam either. So it's only there to siphon out, we want genuine people who have an interest in tarot joining that group. So do click to say you're okay with the rules of the group, answer the 2 questions, I think there is, that's all there is, 2 questions, and you're in. So thank you for sharing the link, Jackie, to the group. And the idea of the Facebook group is just to continue discussions that we have here on the channel. So, but it's a great group. If I do say so myself, I spend more time in there than I think I do on my own personal Facebook. I just seem to be in the Hermit's Cave whenever I get some free time to be on Facebook. I tend to spend a lot of time in there. I find sometimes that if I'm joining a group via my phone, I don't see all the questions, so maybe try on a computer. That's interesting. That's interesting. We do give people 24 hours, because I know sometimes as well, when I've sent messages to people, they're like, oh yeah, I'm coming back to it. I'm just in the middle of something. So we do give people 24 hours to answer the questions. But oh, I wonder what that is. I really like it a lot. I haven't started working with it yet, though. I love the ace, 2, 3, 4 of wands. Is this the 1909 you was talking about? Melissa says, I didn't realise you had 2 copies. The cardstock may not be as nice as other decks, but it's not bad cardstock. No, it's not bad cardstock at all. I think because I got it around the same time as getting what I call my dirty, not my dirty pan, the Pam A, which is this one, the Rider-Waite. This is the study deck for tarot course. The cardstock is a little bit better on this. It's made playing cards, superior smooth cardstock, and I really like it. And then, of course, the Centennial is a lot thicker than this. It's proper US Games cardstock. This is by Drive-Through Cards from C in London. And you do get a couple of art cards. I wasn't going to open this one because it's not been opened. It's just a fold out tuck box. But yeah, you get a card that tells you a little bit about the Rider-Waite and its history. And then the 1909, a little bit about, the 1909 Roses and Lilies deck was the first ever Rider-Waite deck created. And then you get some like art cards, got 1909 on the back. Empress there. Apparently this is a picture of all the majors on one. Not quite sure why. And it's got a kind of a maroon Roses and Lilies back. But yeah, apparently that was all the majors put together in one card. You've got a black and white sketch version of the Six of Cups. But yeah, it's awesome. And this is in order. It's not been used at all. So you are getting an unused copy. There's a black and white fool on the back of that writing as well. What's on the back of that one? Black and white Wheel of Fortune. So there we have it. We were chatting about the Way Home Tarot. Oh, okay. The study deck is standard smooth, not superior smooth. Really? I thought it was superior smooth. Not quite sure why. Can you not alter the choices? That's cool. What card did you guys... Sorry. Oh, that's cool. What card do all you guys see most prominently? You have to... I see the Hierophant prominently the most in there out of all of them. But then if you look up in the top corners as well, you can see other kind of cards. But yeah, I see the Hierophant the most. Hi, Tarot and Astrology with Pomona. How you doing, Pomona? Lovely giveaway. How appropriate of you and your channel. Well, that's what I thought. And lots of giveaways I've done have been kind of RWS inspired. You can't alter the choice that the study deck only has one option. It's standard smooth. I just swore it was superior. I can't tell the difference then between superior and standard because all my other superiors feel exactly the same. I see 4 of Pentacles, but that's not one of the choices. Trust you, Al. I just saw a blur. It's the 1909 Pomona. It's a giveaway to... my coffee's gone cold. It's the problem with this mug. It's a lovely mug, but because it's so big, it goes cold so quickly. So what else have I got to tell you? Oh, so the last, and I've been so busy this week. It's been so full on that with one thing or another, I've not been able to do any YouTubing. So the last video you will have seen would have been last Sunday, and it was my walkthrough of Eva's tarot. And I've had so many messages about how can we order this deck, and even Eva herself has put a message on just saying it's not available and at the moment. They've sold out. It's gone yeah, phenomenally well. But with... they're going to be upside down, aren't they? Yes, I can tell. Just bear with me a second. That's it. Turn it the right way around. So if you saw it, it had, obviously, because it was published in Russia, it had Russian titles on it. I've edged it, and everybody was saying lovely shade of red, but it's actually like a really dark orange because it fits more with the colours on the back. But I've taken the tiles off the bottom, and it's a lovely size. It's like the Anna Kay size now. I mean, look at that devil card. But Ava wrote to me saying that actually US Games was looking at picking it up, but I think they wanted to change like 30 cards. And she was saying that as an artist, she just couldn't do that. She couldn't sell out that way. And I know there are cards in there that are problematic. They didn't like the devil card. And I think the devil card is one of the most amazing devil cards. They didn't like the death card, and they just wanted it to change so much that she said no. And then Lo Scarabeo was looking at it. I can't remember what she said, the reason why Lo Scarabeo didn't pick it up. But this printing house, it's just amazing. This printing house in Russia, I mean, look at the Empress. How beautiful is that? said, we will take it and we won't ask you to change a single thing. So so she did that, you know, she wanted to be true to, but the problem is now, because I said to her, what about something like Make playing cards? So you could easily, you know, upload the images. Oh, look at that. You could upload the images and change the titles to English. This was a card that was a problem as well. And, you know, a lot of people, I know that US Games, I don't know if they told Robin Scott in the Urban Tarot, but Robin changed the Tower card in that. And there were some people that are happy that that happened, and some weren't. So I get why people would be triggered by that image. But so yeah, so I love it. I've trimmed it off. I've used it all week. I'll pull a card from it today. But let me just see if I can find what she said. Where did I speak to her? Was it on email or messenger? Just bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, it must have been on messenger. And now I can't find it. Isn't it typical? Yeah, I can't find it. And I'm always conscious that people are like live sitting there saying, shouting, get on with it. Oh, hold on. I found it. I'm sad, of course, that I could not get to publish it in the USA or England. In the beginning, I was talking to US Games. US Games wanted it, but also wanted to change a lot of cards because they thought it would scare people, like the Tower, the Devil, or Death. About 30 cards needed to change, and some of them I could not make another way, but some was too dear to my heart also, and it was a lot of cards to change. It would have been an absolute another deck. So I said no to American publishers. In Italy, Lo Scarabeo, some wanted me to send my manager. It sounds a little strange. Her English is great, but there's lots of words that are, you know, kind of lost in translation. So they wanted to appoint a manager for her, and she didn't want that. I'm just a normal person, and normal people don't have managers, especially just as artists. And Lo Scarabeo said that they were looking at going in another direction, like digital art more and not watercolors, which is a shame because it's a gorgeous watercolor. Anyway, she found a publisher in Russia. So I know a lot of people, it's had a lot of views, and a lot of people are really keen to get it. And all I can say is apologies that, you know, the links that I did put in are the links, but then you've got to navigate through Russian and it's a little bit difficult. So yeah. Oh, that reminds me, a little bit of a warning. Because this week, it's just been one of those weeks, nearly £50 was taken out of my account that was unexplained, and I was like, what's happening here? And it was from Amazon France. Now, the only things I've ordered from Amazon France was Tarot Noir, which was probably about 18 months ago. Before that, the Par Polka, which was years ago, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. But recently, I'd ordered some Tarot de Marseille weights, and this £50 just went out my account like the day before payday, 2 days before payday. So I got in touch with Amazon, and they said, oh, it's a Prime membership for Amazon France. I'm like, well, I've got Prime membership. And she's like, yeah, but not with Amazon France. So just a bit of a warning, because they put me through to Amazon France and I was able to speak to an English speaking agent. And when I ordered the decks from Amazon France, there is a checkbox that was ticked that obviously it's in French and I don't read French, which automatically signed me up to a free trial of Amazon Prime France. The free trial period had ended, and then they took a year's membership out. So just be mindful of that if you have ordered from Amazon France, because the same thing has probably happened because I wasn't aware of it. Annoying, but I get why Lewis Garbier wants to go with more digital aesthetic. See, it's sad because digital kind of art is one of my least favorite. I love oil paintings. I love watercolor. I just love, I have got a lot of digital art decks, but a lot of the digital art type of decks that I'm seeing now, which is very sort of symmetrical and object based, like Fountain Tarot or Star Child or even Moose Tarot. It's just not for me. But that's me, Can you get the £50 back? You can. And Amazon France, kudos to them as well, because if our Amazon was half as helpful as this person was that I spoke to, he was absolutely charming, helpful, and he said, "Don't worry about it. I'll get you your money back." And he took some details, and I explained that I didn't need a Prime membership in France, and I, wasn't aware because I can't speak the language that I'd signed up to a free trial. And he said you'll get the money back within 5 to 10 days. It was back in my account the next day, so that was good. So yes, I did get the money back. Wow, there's 143 people here. Hello everybody, and I'm just wittering on. So what I did want to show you today is a deck. It's a Majors Only deck that has been sent to me. I haven't opened it yet. I wanted to keep it for the live, but this is from a caver, so somebody that's in the cave. Her name's Polly, Polly Ko, K-O, and we've been doing every Monday we share our favorite Major Arcana card, and we've only done 5 so far. So last Monday was the Emperor, so the Hierophant will be this Monday, and I normally set a post to go live about 6 a.m. UK time on Monday saying, here starts the Emperor week, we'll share cards. And what Polly was doing was showing some cards that I've not seen before. And I was like, oh, these are really nice. And she messaged to say that it was her own deck. She's only done the majors so far. But she will be doing the minors, and I've seen some minors. In fact, I think I took, yeah. So this is her 10 of Swords. Obviously won't be in this deck. This is just the majors so far. But again, the artwork is really, really beautiful. So that's one of the minors. That's it. For some reason, I don't know why, the mute button on screen keeps coming on. When I was doing the countdown and everything, I kept noticing the mute button was on. So can't hear, no sound. I'm back now. I realised it gave me a little sign saying you've lost connection to your mic. but I'm not quite sure why the mute button toggle keeps coming on. It did that last time. Anyway, it looks like there's a little note or something. So let's have a look. I've gone deaf. Speak up! It reminds me of, I'll get done for slamming a religion again. But The Life of Brian, the film, where there's the Sermon on the Mount scene, and at the back, speak up! Oh, little things like that. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Dear Simon, I hope you enjoy using this major only deck for the time being. I will work hard on the minors and share with all of you in the Hermit's Cave. Polly, 5th of March. Oh, lovely little letter that she sent on this beautiful paper with little flamingos on. I'm sure they do. And we've got people in this community who are Catholic and Christian and also work with tarot. Absolutely. It's not one or the other, you know. I just know that from the sect of Christianity that I belong to, tarot was a major no-no. And membership of the church would have been in jeopardy had they, had that been a part of my practice then. But, there isn't a kind of one size fits all. Even different kind of churches and congregations within faith groups view things quite differently. Blessed are the cheesemakers. That's what happens when you miss here. It's not coming out. It's been a very naughty boy. Nice little card. Little thank you card. Per Mama Illustrations. Thank you for supporting Per Mama Illustrations. That's beautiful. Polly Ko is a self-taught visual artist based in Hong Kong. Her art is vibrant, spirited, and significantly influenced by Japanese manga and anime. Check out her works on her Instagram page. And her Instagram is at permama_illustration. I don't know if it will pick that up. But what a beautiful business card as well. Isn't this just gorgeous? Really lovely. They are sealed. The kind of long, tall cards. These are the backs, which are beautiful. I will put a timestamp as well. So if people just want to watch this walkthrough, they can easily find it. I'll put starts at 50 minutes in or whatever. Let's just move these. Can I just grab a cold drink before I start this? Because this coffee has gone cold. I want something. I'm feeling very dry. This isn't what it looks. I know it looks like a bottle of wine, but it's not. It's just a sparkling water. It's white grape and elderflower. So, and it is lovely. So let's have some of this. Quick, rearrange the decks. Antoinette, hello. I see I have impeccable timing. Another deck. Yeah. Okay. Looks lovely. I need white grape and elderflower sparkling water, says Melissa. Oh, shall we do the pop the cork thing? Like, oh, it might be showering out everywhere though. I haven't shook it up. But it just kind of like not pop. It's not going to pop. It's not. Well, that was a bit of a damp squib. Okay. Oh, that's lovely. Just subtle enough not to be overpowering. Appropriate for a Channelversary. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Here's to the next 4 years. All right, let's have a look. So cardstock is nice. They are smooth. They're not glossy. And they're matte, but with a nice soft silky finish. If you didn't see a close-up of the backs, these are the backs, which I think are just really beautiful. Very intricate, but lovely colours. Here we have the fall. I love the slimness of them. So comparing against a standard RWS, that's the best way to do this. You can see they're a lot taller. I've done it the wrong way around, haven't I? But narrower. Kind of like the, oh, what's the guy's name? Jen, if you're still here, you kind of gave me a link to somebody that was selling the second edition, Danilov. Kind of like the Danilov shape. Or what I would imagine Yonessa Yaus to be like, although I don't own that deck. But so I love this. Got the little pug. But look at her hat. Is that like a little hedgehog's face? But yeah, it's cute. So you can see when she says it's kind of inspired by anime and manga. Didn't need me at all. It came to me just in that moment. The Magician. Now, this was the first card she said she ever painted. And she feels that it doesn't come up to the same standard as all the others. But so far, from what I've seen, I think it is just as beautiful. So that's her Magician. And she shared that on Magician Week. When did she release these? I had no idea. I thought they were still being drawn. They are still being drawn, Antoinette, but she's released the majors. So feel free to ask her in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group, because she's posted images in there. It's Polyco, P-O-L-L-Y, Poly, and then Co, K-O. High Priestess is gorgeous. Look how beautiful that is. The Empress. They look really fancy as well, don't they? I mean, the watercolors are really nice, but I love the kind of the ornate kind of gilding around the framework. I'd love to get that deck. The Emperor. Everybody looks so young. He's a very young looking Emperor, isn't he? The Hierophant. Little deer. This is really interesting, lovers. She's looking through a looking glass. The hands touching. Love that, so pretty. Wow, they are stunning. Oh, Emily's jumping ahead to the Hanged Man. I need to see it now. Oh, yes. Chariot. Look at this. Look at the modern kind of element to that with the cityscape in the background. But look at the colours. That sort of burnt sienna colour of the sky. So gorgeous. An example of the type of border that works well for me in a deck. Yeah, it's not obtrusive at all, is it? It's always part of the picture, part of the design. Hi, Amanda. Here's the Strength card. This is one of my favourites. I think it is just beautiful. Really beautiful. Look at the pink field behind. The Hermit, I love. Working by oil lamp. The owl look, the moon peeping through the little window. Really gorgeous. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. And then who was it that mentioned the Emily, who mentioned the Hanged Man? It's this beautiful ballerina. Look at that. Turn it up that way, just so you can see her face and things. Interesting. It's the ballerina pose, but you know, you still get that sort of figure four. The Hermit does look cozy, doesn't it? I love these cards. Here's Death. Temperance. She's walking a tightrope here. The blues and greens in this. It's not... The problem, I suppose, with doing this live on a Mac camera is you don't get the full sort of richness of the colours as you would on a face down camera using like a phone or a camera. I can let you off with this deck. I've had my eye on it since last year, so you didn't make me do it alone. I'll let you off then. The Devil. Wow. Isn't that interesting, this Devil? You see the chains, you see one person here in like a fetal position. Yeah, this is Polyco is the artist, and it's the Becoming Tarot. That's remiss of me. I meant to put on here. There you go. Thank you for the reminder, folks. The Tower. I'm going bonkers, I forgot the name. The shape and the border reminds me of the black deck on Etsy that was removed due to copyright. The one with the where the eyes were covered by cloth. Talking to the Moon. Jen and I reviewed it together when she was over here in England and with me in the cave. I was going to mention it, but yeah, I wasn't sure where we were with that. Because two different people were claiming that it was theirs. And I don't think I ever found out what the truth was. It's the star. Love the moon. Look at the moon. So we've got the wolf, the dog, the crayfish here, little blue one, the towers, the moon, the water, gorgeous. Sun card is gorgeous, got this honeybee, beautiful sunflowers, somebody laying enjoying the meadow. Beautiful. Then we have Judgment. Tower of the Moon Garden. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that. And then we have the World. I've got this little lion cub there, look. So there you have it. You also get 2 blank cards, which is kind of traditional with older tarot decks, isn't it? And I think the idea was to have one at the front, one at the back to protect the cards. But you can use these as scrying cards or put your own artwork on them if you wanted to. So you get those 2 extra ones. So Becoming Tarot by Polly Co. Polly is in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group as well. So any questions that you've got about this deck or when the full deck is likely to be released, she's happy to answer any questions in the group. So there we are. All right. So anything else before we wrap up? Anybody got anything they want to ask or discuss? Let me try and think what's... Oh, yeah. So next Saturday, just so everybody's aware, let me take that banner off now. Scylla Conway will be joining me. I'm very excited. I love Scylla and I love her work. And the last deck of hers that I got was the Shimmering Veil Tarot. She is the creator of the Days of Creation as well. Intuition Tarot. Forgotten now. I need to grab the box off the shelf. But she has a new deck coming out. I think it's called Transformational Days. Let me have a check on that. I'd hate to tell you wrong. Scylla, she's actually active now. Multi-dimensional Deva. So it's the I best get this right before next week. Multi-dimensional Deva deck will be on its way to the UK at the end of the month, which is around now. So yes, that's exciting. So Scylla will be on next week, and I love having guests on. I don't know if you was here last week and you saw the live with Deborah Croft-Chapin from the creator of Soul Cards, talking about her new deck, Portals of Presence. But I had a lovely chat with her before we went live and after we ended the broadcast. And she's such a sweetheart. She's such a lovely, lovely person. So hopefully, and Byzantine, well, there's loads we could talk about of her work, and we will next week. So hopefully you can join me here next week, and Scylla will be here. And any questions you have for her, I'm sure she'll be happy to to answer. Your reflections on the last 4 years, highlights for you. Wow, there's been so many. I think I've said before, I remember being a part of this community for a good 8 months, perhaps, before I even hit the record button. And felt like I knew so many people anyway, but I was kind of encouraged to start a channel by Patrick Fogarty, who had a channel at the time called In the 78 Cards, and now The Living Wheel is the channel. He does more on Instagram now than YouTube. But I remember doing my very first video 4 years ago, and it was a VR, it was a tag, and being really nervous about putting something out there. But then it was like, now what? Now what do I do? I really was stumped. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know. I've done a VR, and I think my second one was a VR, and I thought, well, I can't just keep doing tags. Scylla Conway is amazing. She is, David. So yeah, I'm trying to think of my highlights. I think Tarathon is something that I'm really pleased about, and how it's grown each year, and the diversity of the topics, and that's always a highlight for me. Even though it's exhausting, the preparation, the build up, but then being awake for 24 hours to make sure everything's going okay. It's like you're performing on a stage and you're in the wings and you're willing the next person. So you're up next, you know, and then they go on, yeah, you did great when they come off stage. And there's a real buzz around it. And the 24 hours does pass quite quickly. There's a time around 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning, maybe a little bit later, 4, 5, 6 a.m., where I start to flag a bit. And I've still got another 4 or 5 hours to go. But it's great. I also really enjoyed the traveling that I did when I started off. I took voluntary redundancy, got some money, hired a car, and I took you guys with me. And we started off in Edinburgh with Elaine, and we went to Stratford-upon-Avon. I went to Becker's in Oxfordshire. I went to Glastonbury, Stonehenge, all the places that I've never been to and really wanted to go to. Even went into Birmingham and met up with Brian Cormack-Carr and Darpan. So that was a highlight as well, which was 2.5 years ago now. But there's so many highlights that it's hard to try and. I had 1,000th video a few months ago, and I put a few highlights in there. But there's been so many. The people I've interviewed, you know, I've interviewed over 50 people now on the channel, and I get a buzz out of interviewing somebody who has just started a channel, you know, and just as much as interviewing Patrick Valenza or, you know, Deborah like last week, or Scylla next week. So yeah, there's just so much. It's hard to kind of think about what those highlights are. Thank you, Pomona. Tags are fun though. Yeah, they are fun. Go to bed, Simon. Ooh. Tags are fun, and I haven't done one for a while. It's almost like they haven't dried up, but it's almost like, well, they've all kind of been done. And what I liked when Chris started his channel, Elemental Cartomancy, he kind of tore up the rule book, and he just went and found some that were maybe 3.5 years old, and kind of breathed new life into them. And yeah, why not? You know, when we're talking about the world of online YouTube, time is irrelevant. You know, people watch when they watch, and it doesn't matter if it was done 4 years ago or 4 months ago. So yeah, some tags that I've done myself have really grown legs and ran. So get to know your tarot tuber. which was an A to Z tag. I couldn't keep on top of that because I like, if you set a tag, it's nice to go in and support. But nearly everybody that was a tarot tuber was doing that. Tarot shelf, the very first one, people showing what's on their tarot shelves. I just did a recent update of that when I cleaned it a few weeks ago. Was a popular one. And there was another one that was really popular. So much so that it escapes me now. My first tarot, talking about your first tarot deck. I also did the kind of snog, marry, avoid type one. But then some, like my backup decks, I think I got one VR. So you just don't know. But they're all good. David says, your effort throughout this year to support the community has been amazing. I'm very grateful. Thank you, David. And Quarren Stream is another highlight. How can I not mention Quarren Stream? There was some days towards the back of last year before it had a more structure when it came back this year, where I was like, I'm going live in 20 minutes and I haven't got a clue what I'm going to talk about. Trying to come up with a different subject every single day was challenging. And even though I was locked in, I was still working from home. So I was still trying to work as well as do a live every day. But that was very much, as I said before, a two-way thing. I got so much out of that as well. I agree. It is a wonderful community, Emily. Your interviews have opened up so much for me. Oh, and me. And I just love that. I love it. I am a chatterbox. I am better one-to-one than in a group setting. You put me in a room at a party and I'll be in the corner somewhere because I am a bit of a wallflower. I really am. Believe it or not. A lot of people think that if you've got a channel that you're really extroverted, and it's not the case. It's not the case at all. But if I sit and meet somebody and have a coffee, I can sit and chat like this. And that's why I love doing the interviews, because I just feel like I'm sitting and having a chat and getting to know. I prefer listening to talking. So when I do a couple of catch-ups and it's me talking, I'm very conscious of quiet spaces and things. So I kind of talk and over talk because I'm conscious of that. Whereas when I'm interviewing, I'd rather just kind of ask a question and sit back and really immerse myself in the responses that come. So my first video was a VR to a very lovely person, Jen's Balanced Tarot. Oh, that is nice. And Jen is a lovely person. My first tarot was my first video. Wow. I don't know if I probably did know that, but it's nice to be reminded of that. Top 5 decks, Kelly Bear. Yeah. Quarren Stream was epic. Oh. I do tag responses on Instagram all the time. That's lovely, Elizabeth. I love this community. I feel so safe. I love this community. Obviously, there are always, with any community, there's always going to be, there's going to be those moments where things happen. There's little bits of drama and all that. But I did say, I did a video in 2019 that I was determined from that point that I would never go into those realms of perpetuating any drama, discussing anything on lives or on my channel. There would be no tea spilling on the Hermit's Cave, because that's not what I want from the community. What I want is friendships, and I want a safe space for everybody. And that's why, it's harder to manage a safe space on YouTube. But in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group, I've got an amazing, and I mean that, an amazing admin team where we work around the clock to ensure that it's a safe space. I woke up, I'm sure they won't mind me telling you, this week of hell that it's been for me. I woke up the other morning, and through the night, my admin team had sorted out, I read through all the comments and dialogue they was having while I was fast asleep, blissfully unaware. But, the kind of the dialogue that happens in the background of the best way to address things was incredible, and it was all resolved, and that was even before I opened my eyes. So thank you to admins and moderators on the channel, but also in the Facebook group. You did know that, and then you shouted it out on CC&C, and I about died. Like I say, I think I was aware of it, but you kind of forget over time, don't you? But it's lovely to be reminded. Angelique says, I lost touch for about a year and I'll pop back every so often. Such a sweet vibe. And you're always welcome. You know, nobody ever, I hope not anyway, feels bad when they can't come to things, you know, or life gets in the way for all of us at times. And at certain parts of our lives, we have to prioritize what's important to us. And I know that, you know, probably in my not too distant future, there's going to be things in my life that will take priority. That doesn't mean I'm shutting down my channel and everything like that. But there'll be times where you'll see less of me, and then other times where you'll see more of me. But we all have to go with that ebb and flow of life and its demands. So I hope that you still feel welcome when you pop back from time to time and say, hello, it's me. And I love it when people say, I've not been around for a while, or you'll see a name and you'll say, hello, I remember you. You know, how have you been? Oh gosh, I love the Facebook group, such great people. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Patrice. Only physical tea coffee. So you remember that, Kimberly? Kimberly's like, only physical tea coffee spilling. Yes, I've dropped, I think it's twice now, but one was an epic tea spilling everywhere. In fact, you were all live chatting. I was on my hands and knees scrubbing, and my feet now are on top of a rug. This is note to anybody out there, don't buy white or beige carpets either. But I've got a rug that's had to cover that stain because it never came up properly. See you later, Jen. I'm about finishing up now anyway. One of the best groups on Facebook for sure. Oh, thank you. I got off Facebook in 2016, probably time to go back on, Simon. It's whatever you're comfortable with, you know. I've often thought, particularly over the last few years, if I didn't have the Hermit's Cave, I probably would have left Facebook. I'm not that enamored about how Facebook has become in terms of the kind of algorithms and the constant marketing and suggestions and things. It just feels like it's very intrusive at times, but it's a good way to keep up with people that you perhaps don't get to see from time to time. So it's nice to see a photograph of someone and what they're up to. So I like that element of it. But because of the cave in particular, it feels like I'm, you know, chatting about one of my favorite subjects with my favorite people. So definitely a great Facebook group. Hello, Anna. Nice to see you. How are you doing? And Anna was somebody who came on. We were just talking about the interview series as well, Anna. And you came on, didn't you? And you're welcome back anytime. I know you've got a deck coming out soon. So if you ever want to come back on and talk and show us some of your work, you're always welcome. Definitely can say I feel inspired to handle my crap and get stuff done since joining on. When I go on Facebook, I go straight to the groups. No time for fake lives and dinner pics. Anna's doing good, doing housework and listening in. Seems to be the Saturday thing, doesn't it? Housework. I did mine this morning. All right, it's 25 past, so I'm going to pull what did I say? Ava's deck, didn't I? I'm going to pull a card. Our card for the week ahead. I wish people would all be on Discord instead. I tried Discord once and I couldn't navigate around it that easily. I did check out TikTok, and I always said I'd never go on TikTok. I kept getting these little videos sent to me in Messenger, and then when I clicked on it, it said join. I thought, well, let's just have a little peep. But I don't think I'm going to be hanging around. I don't really get it. It's just a series of little video clips. But the Facebook group and your lives are very welcoming and have a great atmosphere. Well, I'm really pleased, David, and I'm glad you feel that it's welcoming, and that's we all try really hard to ensure that that's the case. So I'm glad that you feel that. Go on. You know, Simon, TikTok is so addictive. Save yourself. Some things I saw were quite funny, but yeah, I don't really have time. I mean, the good thing is they're only a few seconds long, aren't they? Dropsies. Oh, let's see what we've got. Oh, we have the judgment card. Now, there's a judgment card. Do you know what? What I think, every time I see the judgment card, I always think to myself, you know what, we don't have to wait for our day of judgment to reinvent ourselves. And what I mean by that is we're constantly being provided with opportunities to transform ourselves or our lives. We just have to be mindful of that. We need to be able to, and I know this judgment card in particular, is not blowing on a trumpet as such. He's got something in his hand, but but are we listening? And would we recognize that sort of metaphorical trumpet when we hear it, which is, an opportunity for a fresh chapter to begin in our lives, a new page. So, when that trumpet blasts, do we hear it? Do we recognize it? And do we do something about it? And the judgment card in particular, as I said, isn't about waiting for the final judgment. It is, recognizing when those opportunities come. And then when they come, using that as an opportunity to develop, to grow, to do better with our lives as well. So a new chapter is about to open, guys, this week. Be ready. Listen for the trumpet. Get a TikTok and I'll send you Gemma Collins videos. No, if there's one reason now to delete that app from my phone, you've just provided it, Al. Right there, in that moment. Gemma Collins videos, no. So ready. Yes, Malamia is ready for the new chapter to open in her life. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here today. It's been lovely to chat and hang out with you all. Hopefully you'll be able to make it with Scylla Conway here next Saturday on Cuppa and Catch Up. And until then, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.